Right. This is Weather Sandbox 2D, and as you can see, there are. I'm making it ready so that you can open a new world, and ideally max the simulation height, and also make the vertical resolution quite high, but aim for about 150. So yeah, and you can adjust it, but it might get quite laggy, but still, it's alright. Let's get that a bit. Okay, and create new simulation. So it should load. And before you click on one of the world types, because you click to generate a new world, you press space first so that it pauses immediately. Now, as you can see, the world repeats at these points and there. So you ideally want a really flat world type with. Wait, let me see. You want a really flat world with, like, almost completely flat, but with a little bit of, with like ideally about half water, half land. Let's say about this. So as you can see, pressing space before you select is pause, and you just move your mouse up and down and left and right to just select a world. Now advanced iterations per frame is ideally best at around 2 or 3, but you need quite a good computer to run this without lag. So turn on smooth camera, turn it off. Max out precipitation threshold. These are the settings that make the clouds big. So precipitation threshold, you max them. The spawn rate, you keep it as is, which is 0.0005. Snow density, just put that in the upper range around 0.75. Minimize the fall speed. The 0 degrees growth rate, half it, and -30 you max it. And you evaporation rate, you turn that to minimum. For the melting rate and the freezing rate, because water releases energy as it melts. No, water takes in energy as it melts, so you don't want that high of a melting rate. But what you do want is quite a high freezing rate. Yeah, water takes in energy as it melts. So that means it will cool the surroundings. So don't have that high. But freezing rate is a liquid to solid, so it will actually release energy. So it will keep it warmer. Max the condensation rate, because again, like freezing, it will release energy when it turns from gas to liquid when water. Melting heat, put it at about at the same evaporation heat. You don't need that up high. If you're an experienced player, you know that putting this to max like that would make big thunderstorms, but actually you don't need that big because you've got a condensation rate. You can make the water weight a bit heavier so that when it does go up, it's like a really violent forcing. The temperature around 30, like tropical waters. Max the evaporation. You definitely want a lot of water coming out of the ground. You definitely want a lot of water. And radiation, I recommend you should make it tropical, half the greenhouse gases, and max the water vapor greenhouse. And sun intensity, you don't need to change it much. And as a fair point, you should lower the exposure a bit. For the fluid, you want a bit of wind. Although I don't really know what effect it has, but oh well. It just works, okay? It just works. Now you need a whole width brush. As you can see the temperature. Oh yeah, let's unpause it first. Oh. Oh, that's a bit awesome, right? And now, you need to make an inversion up there. Like up around the freezing level where the green turns to blue. So this is the point at which water would freeze because like the temperature is shown by the colors. And oh yeah, don't forget to change selected temperatures. I was on flashlight, so that's why I didn't have any effect. So you need to be careful because if you want to make an inversion and if you make it too quick, then the inversion would just cause some really violent convection upwards and it will kind of ruin it. So yeah, I recommend that you do it like slowly and maybe do it from the top down. So yeah, that's how you do it. Kind of. Nope. Prevent the lapse rate from getting too steep. Like prevent the temperature change from becoming too steep. So as you can see, we have now made the temperature change a bit slower with the height. And so, okay, there's a body of water and it's starting to evaporate quite strongly. So, let's see. I'm gonna heat up the water. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you should, but either way, for a starter, turn on global heating to maximum. As you can see, the clouds are forming. Also, it's optional, but if you want quicker success, then you should choose the soil moisture and then apply it. So just no, a bit less. To undo something, you hold the control button and click because like it's quite weird the controls. So to undo, I'll just select that flashlight. You can see you can't see that on my screen, but okay. So you press. So let's talk about the keybinds while we wait for this to brew. As you can see, oh no, I kind of messed up the inversion because like it's like. In case any of you are wondering, an inversion is where the temperature gets warmer with the altitude. So you can see it's slightly warmer on this layer than below it. But that would stop clouds from going up. But as you can see, the clouds are forming there because I can't mess it up, and it's causing its own convection. But when that stops, it should form a good cap. Just don't do it too quickly. Adjust your cap as necessary. Okay. Okay, so keybinds. You should turn on number lock and press 1, you get the temperature, which is shown by the color. It's really cool up there. And press 2, you get the water vapor. You get the visualization of water vapor concentration, and as you can see, it's not relative humidity. It's just how much water or how much moisture there is, and it shows you how much there is. As you can see, it's evaporating quite a lot near to the lakes. Press 3 and it's the what you will actually see. And so yes, I kind of messed that up. Press 4 horizontal velocity. Red, that means it's moving right, and blue means it's moving left. and the strength of the color means shows how quick it is. And I just press 5, 4, 5. Pressing 5 would show you the vertical velocity, which red means up and blue means down, and again the strength of the color denotes strength. For 6 is the infrared strength, and it kind of lets you see the inner structures of the cloud. For 7 and 8, I don't know how they're used, but I just don't. For 9, it is precipitation mass, and there isn't any rain right now, so I guess there. So it doesn't show up yet, but I'll show you later. But precipitation mass, how it works is that when there's a lot of rain or hail or snow in the sky, then it shows up as a bunch of red squares, and it's really useful when to see where would lightning strike next on this game. And so as you can see, I've turned on global heating and the ground's heating up quite a lot. Like before it was this like slight orange hue, and now it's like, when I put a weather station. Turn about the flashlight. Okay, 23.6. 23.6 degrees. Not bad, not bad. Okay, so just in case your simulation, when you're making the inversion, it all goes wrong, then you can always maximize the drag so that the convection stops and it gets less turbulent, and the inversion should stay there. So matter of fact, it doesn't look like there's an inversion right now because it's, as you can see, the temperature is dropping with height. But you see this area of light temperature with little change in temperature with height, so this area is actually kind of acts as a lid to stop clouds moving up, because since it doesn't cool down as quick, so it's kind of an inversion. Well, maybe I should make another inversion up there, who knows. Just carefully warm that up. Like really carefully. Try to get a squeeze in. Alright. You should make quite a strong cap to like let it move down a bit. That extends almost to the surface. And yes. Kind of it, I suppose. You can see how it is slightly warmer there, so. Yeah, warm up, warm up, warm up. Peak. Peak. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I kind of messed up this inversion, so like it's going up. There's some convection happening, as you can see, with the vertical profile. No, not vertical profile. The vertical speed, velocity. So no worries. Max the drag until all these just weaken or disappear. Yeah. As you can see, the land is evaporating quite a bit because of the summer sun. Yeah, June 20th, summer solstice, so the sun is actually strongest. If you want a boost, you can always heat up the layer of temperature that is closest to the bottom of the ground. It's quite cheeky, but it works. It just works. Okay? It just works. It just works. Heat it up, heat it up, heat it up. What? I might need to cool that down a bit. Cool that down a bit so that it doesn't like break through. Because if it breaks through, then it will. So basically what we're doing is that we're trying to build up energy, and then we're only going to release it after the energy has built up quite a lot. So that's why we need the inversion in the first place. Because you know the tornadoes in America, the storm chasers have analyzed that you need quite a weak cap, like not very strong cap, so that it holds back any convection until it becomes, like really humid and really hot before it just blows all out. So you might need to adjust the inversion several times to prevent it from breaking out. Oh, some rain? Okay, now I'm using 9 the precipitation mass, and as you can see, they're falling to the ground. And if you want to see normal mode droplets, press D for droplets. Also, you can always fly a plane by pressing A in this game, but press escape to just escape, and to just not. Normally, I just bump the airplane in the mountain to create a new updraft because it's just bruh. You see what I mean? Okay, the server's getting quite hot, and also for decorations, you can also add things like urban. Yay, we have a little town there. And runway, so the airport runway. Guys, you're having an airport now. Yay. You can also build some industrial areas. Okay. Yep. Industrial areas. And yes, we have our little town here. Just worth bearing in mind that for the industrial areas, the soil moisture is often quite low. Like it kind of resets to default, so you should give it a bit of moisture. Yeah. So I've still got the drag on, but normally once these convection clouds have stopped, you can just turn off the drag because yeah. Also, if you want to give a boost, then you should use the water vapor / cloud at whole width, so that it will help. It actually helps a lot. Okay, and we have this area of sinking air. Alrighty. So there are some pockets of sinking air, some downdrafts. Okay, we can just keep adding water vapor. Okay. Now this cloud has kind of formed, so we can't add much more now, I suppose. You can also add it to some higher layers, but shouldn't add that much. Yeah. Yeah, that's quite a lot of water. So I'll just have to artificially add the water. So okay, this one's going up, but it's just from the previous convection, so we can largely ignore that. As you can see, a bit of fog has formed on the land. It's quite normal. Don't worry. Okay, so now we have a large bottom layer of moisture, which is basically more than enough to sustain a large thunderstorm. And in that case, you turn global heating to negative 0.00001. Oh no, I might have overdone it a bit. Oh, so who cares, actually? 34.3, okay. Oh, oh. What have I done? Okay. As you can see, it moves a bit, but yeah, it's just the drag that's keeping it from exploding in thunderstorms. But without the drag, it's gonna go all out. I'll remove that weather station. Okay. Actually, no. Let's put weather station all over the place. Evenly distributed. Okay, that see's actually quite hot. 36. Whoa, that's crazy. Sun. Yo, 39. That's hot. Flashlight. Actually, no, I don't want weather stations. They're just in the way. They're just in the way, sir. Dude, you're just in the way. Son, I'm crying. Okay, you get these convective clouds. Yep. This parcel's going up, so flashlight. As you can see, the top is a bit warmer, and it's normal. It stops thunderstorms from going up. So here we go. Alright. It's built up quite a lot, also. So, it's going up because of, you can see it's warmer than the surroundings, so it's naturally just going to keep going up, but it cools as it goes up. If you turn up the melting rate, then it's just going to, cool down and not have so much buoyancy. So, water, maybe you need to decrease the water weight a bit. Maybe 0.5 will be best. Freezing rate. Okay, this pocket of air is moving down, and it might trigger the entire thing to just... Well, there you have it. Look, it's just going up by itself. The main concern is just that it would, use up all the fuel before. So, whoa. Turn on the precipitation mass to see where there's the most precipitation. And this much precipitation would not give you thunder, but... Okay, this one's really going. This one's really going. Sometimes you just have a very weak rainstorm and it collapses, but when it comes down, the downdrafts spread outwards when hitting the ground, so it might cause, it is quite likely to cause new thunderstorms elsewhere. So in all fairness, it's hard to say. Okay, there are two really popping off right now. Let's see. This is quite a wide map. I usually don't go that wide. As you can see, the water vapors moving. Okay, this one looks violent. This one looks violent. See that? See that? That's lightning. Congratulations. It's just moving up really quickly. It's going to get stopped at this top layer, so in case you're wondering, it wouldn't hit the top of the simulation. But yeah, it's just dragging up the moisture. Wow. Yep, this is definitely going. Yep. And yes, this is how you create the violent storms. Okay. Let's set it like this. All of them have quite a lot of rain, snow in them. Okay. Some of them you have hail in there from these yellow particles. That's actually insane. This didn't use up that much moisture, so yeah. As you can see, it's definitely gone upwards, but it's now collapsing from its own weight because of all the rain, snow, and hail. You can see like snow mixed with hail, and they're just raining down. Okay, this is our town right there. You can see. Okay. Live action. This is peak live action. Peak live action, mate. Seriously. So as you can see, the rain is hitting the ground and... or the sleet, rather. I think this is sleet. Yeah. Light blue. Yeah, sleet. It's just hitting the ground and the ground's warming up, but kind of. I mean... you don't really want to sleep on the ground, because... okay, and now we have our outflow boundary. So, while this all is going down, you can see current to left and current to right. And they head each side. And by doing that, they lift the air. They lift the air up along with more moisture. And this causes cloud to form. And when two of these boundaries collide, oh, this is actually going quite strongly. It forms a... what happened? What is happening? What is happening here? So that's why I said let the moisture build up before releasing it, because releasing it all at once won't give you storms this epic. Look. This just looks tropical, you know? Okay, this one's moving down, and the moistures, as you can see. Okay, this... wow. Wow. This is just violent. This one has potential, like quite a lot of potential. Now I need you to keep a close eye on the area between the storms, especially around here, and also these few cells, because the thunderstorms, they send air down and shovel down the cold air. And when the two currents collide, like a left moving current and a right moving current, when they collide, they have nowhere to go but up. So this causes some violent convection and causes thunderstorms. As you can see, just look at the parcel temperatures. The temperatures of this parcel is like a lot warmer than surroundings. As you can see, like 13 or compared to this surrounding 0 degrees, so it's going to move up pretty quickly. And it carries a lot of moisture as well. Cool. As you can see, that's why planes don't fly into the thunderclouds, because they're really turbulent. You've got these updrafts, you've got these strong downdrafts, and you have got this whatever on the side, and you have got these horizontal winds blowing into the storm high up, and yet they're moving away from the surface. Okay, so this updraft is kind of moving some more moisture up, but also keeping the precipitation up there. You see what I mean? So yeah, this is how you make a violent thunderstorm in Weather Sandbox 2D. It will be the first result that pops up when you search about it. So, oh, nice thunder. So, see you guys, and subscribe if you like this video. Bye!